Whenever my friends and family hear that I'm going to the Comoros, they always are really excited, and they're always asking, what is it like? What is it like to stay there? What is it like to live there? What is it like to work there? And well, today I thought I would give you a little bit of an idea of the place we stay. So this is our crew house, quite close to the beach and not too bad, although yeah, it could be better. But let's go and have a look inside. So first thing we see is our outside patio. So this is where most of our nights are spent, sitting here at the table and having a couple of beers, or if you don't drink beer, then raspberry juice or something like that. It's not a bad area. It's quite nice to sit. We get a bit of breeze through here. Braai is over there. We got a nice new braai about a month ago. So yay. Some darts, we play that every now and again. Actually haven't played in a while, but some of the guys do like playing. And yeah, what else can I say about this area? It's just where we hang out, really. This is our pool. Now, I don't really like swimming in it. The reason being is even though it is quite warm in the Comoros, the water is still a little bit too cold for my liking. Although a lot of the guys say it's very refreshing. Yeah, I'm not into cold water, but really nice to have here, and it stays quite nice and clean because it's under the veranda, compared to our Gabon pool, which used to get really dirty very quickly. It was a lot of work to try and keep it clean. This one is not too bad, actually. I suppose this also doubles as a bit of a water backup when we don't have water or electricity. Need to have a quick dip. It's quite a reality here in the Comoros. The lounge is also relatively comfortable. We don't spend a lot of time in here, again, because of the heat. There's no real aircon in here, but not too bad. Got a nice TV, decoder there, some multi-choice on demand. It's all running off a UPS, although it only lasts about 2 minutes. So yeah, just enough time to turn the generator on before the rugby turns off. And if you notice it, have a look at that. That's a Rise of Beer Castle. Now, it may look small for now, but this was the castle that we had previously. It was huge. It was all the way up here, like above the light. And it got so big that it actually fell down. And we ended up throwing all of those cans away and kind of starting to rebuild it. Now, we don't drink that much, but well, the castle was quite big. This is the dining room part of the house. Now, we don't really do any dining here. Reason being is, because remember I said we kind of sit outside, much cooler that way. But we use this area to keep the fridges and freezers. A lot of our meat is stored in here. This fridge is kind of the personal fridge. That's where we keep all of our personal items. The kind of free for all. Terrible English there. Fridge is in the kitchen, which we'll look at shortly. We also do some of the ironing. We never do the ironing, but that's where it gets done. So yeah, not really a very much utilized area. But let's go and have a look at the kitchen. It's through there. The kitchen is actually not too bad. It, for the most part, gets things done. It's where most of us try and spend as little time as possible. Well, at least I do, because I'm not that good at cooking. But it's got the basics that you need. Fridge, and this is the common fridge for just general free-for-all stuff. Sink, some cupboards that mostly don't fall apart, and a nice little gas oven. Now, this is definitely something that you need in a place like this, because the power is on and off. We can't really rely on electric ovens or electric appliances that much. So quite nice to have a gas stove and oven. So this is the other side of the kitchen, the pantry, if you will, kind of our food store or shelf. Got some nice vegetables there, good old butternut, some gem squash. These come from South Africa, by the way. Kind of difficult to get this type of thing in the Comoros, as you may have seen in one of our previous shopping videos in Moroni or the Comoros. Got some average items. Everybody's got the old 4.5 litre all gold tomato sauce and Worcester sauce, we always like that. And the latest addition to the Comoros kitchen is this steel not filing cabinet, just steel cabinet. We keep a lot of our food and items in this thing. So a little while ago we had a problem with rats, and the rats kind of come in and they chow all your stuff. So I don't think they are going to get through this. And we also keep it locked just to keep our stuff from disappearing. So that is it. The kitchen basically does its job and it does what it needs to do. So let's move on to some of the rooms.
Is there any pasta?
Yeah, I think there is. I think it's in here. I'm not going to tell you what the code is, but it's if I can get it open. Oh, somebody's changed the code. Oh no, they didn't. I'm pretty sure there's pasta in here. Lasagna. This is what we're having for supper tonight. I'm going to not try and make it because somebody else is, thankfully. But this is what we've got in the cupboard. Like 2-minute noodles, you know, the basic bachelor pad stuff. Some nice big tubs of, what is this, Mrs. Ball's chutney. Just a little one, 3 kgs. Some small spices, 1 kg of chicken spice, a couple of odds and ends in the cans. There's some dog food for our dog, Lovey. She's very friendly. And some rice, really. This part of the house is pretty much where we collect all of our clean clothing. Now, as you can see, there's some uniforms hanging on kind of an indoor line over there. Tumble dryer is right here. And that table, ladies and gentlemen, is where socks go to die. That's correct. I brought about 10 pairs of socks, and I think I've only got like 5 left. So I don't know who or what is eating them. Maybe it's the rats that kind of run around here. But yeah. Bring a lot of socks when you come with. One thing that I do want to say thanks for, and it is really great in this house, and as you know, in many of the other crew houses, we do have ladies here that help us out with our washing. So that is really, really awesome. Okay, let's go and have a look at a bedroom. This is one of the downstairs bedrooms. Now, downstairs there are 4 bedrooms. Geez, I almost put up 5 fingers there, or that's kind of a thumb, but you get it. There's 4 bedrooms downstairs. There's also a couple upstairs, and these bedrooms are quite empty at the moment, very echoey, and busy being painted, which is quite nice. As with most of the house, it's kind of getting a quick refurb. Of course, being painted to the highest of standards. That's kind of what we've come to expect here. But I'm sure it'll be quite nice once everything is complete. Yeah, let's just go and have a look at maybe another bedroom that's in better condition than what this one is. This is the passage where kind of the 4 bedrooms, or which leads to the 4 bedrooms. There's 2 over there and 2 over here. They're still busy working on these. And there's also a bathroom down at the end, which is kind of common to these, well, to these 3. This one has got an ensuite. I really like the mixture of blue and white. It's, kind of goes with that islandy style vibe. This is our dog, Lovey. She's very, very friendly. Hello, Lovey. Hello. 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 Ooh, you are a friendly dog, eh? Ooh, I just want to bite you. Yum, 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 yum. I don't know. I think in South Africa, you wouldn't go near a dog like this. But we love Lovey. Hey, we love you. That's the upstairs patio. Let's go and have a look up there. These stairs are not slippery at all when it is wet. Hence the tape, which doesn't really work. I've nearly killed myself down these stairs before. But nonetheless, during the evenings where there's no power, it's actually quite nice to sit up here. You get quite a nice breeze off the ocean. So nice little table. A little bit of a mess there, but that's definitely worth the mess because there's a brand new aircon that's being installed in one of the upstairs bedrooms. Yay. I think it's been fixed like 5 or 6 times within the last 2 weeks, so it definitely needed to be replaced. But yeah, that's it for upstairs. Also got a really nice view. The upstairs has also got its own little lounge area right over here. That's a coffee corner for your morning glory, and I don't know, some basic couches. You know, not much happens really up here other than coffee in the morning. So over that way is the office. So, well, I call it an office. It's not really. It's just basically a desk with a computer and a printer. This is where the first officers spend a lot of their time planning their nights away. That's planning for the next day's flying. A lot of the stuff just gets planned on the computer, printed right here, and then they take it through to the aircraft in the morning. Yeah, to the rooms. Well, the upstairs rooms, should I say. They are through this doorway or opening. Before we get onto the upstairs bedrooms, there are 6 of them up here. Only 3 of them have en-suites. The other 3, well, they don't really. So you've kind of got to share a bathroom. Now, this can be quite a shitty experience because of the wonderful view that you have through the window over there. It's quite cuck because people can just watch you through the window. So as you can see, there's pretty much improvised curtains with the A4 paper. It's not much better on that side. This is that side from, well, there out the door, you know what I mean. This is basically where the shower is, nice little basin. There's a hot water geyser up there. And what we do have is the latest in high visibility urban curtainware. It's also just to stop the neighbors from peeking at you while you're having a little shower. It does the job. It's not great, but it does the job. For the upstairs bedrooms, there is 4 of them in this passage. There's one over there, one over here, and one over here. This bedroom has also got a door outside onto the veranda, and that's my room right over there. This room is not teabag, quite comfortable actually. Probably one of the better rooms in the house at the moment, although once the painting is finished, then maybe some of the other ones might be better. But shoes at the door always, just to keep the floor clean. Comfortable for me. Got a nice little cupboard over here, just a standard old double-sided cupboard. Also a mosquito net, so the mosquitoes are quite rampant over here. And well, one of the crew members, they've actually recently gone home, they got malaria. Now that's something that I was very worried about in Gabon, although here we were all quite relaxed about it because there aren't, as we believe, many cases of malaria in the Comoros. However, well, one of our guys got it, so very thankful to have one of these mosquito nets. Now, not all of the rooms have this, which is, I think, that something that should be looked at by the owner of the house or somebody. But very nice to have that. Kind of, relaxes you, or well, keeps you relaxed while you're sleeping. If you are not relaxed while you're sleeping, or you guys know what I mean. Little desk just to sit at, computer type thing, and yeah, I mean that's about it. Of course, each room has an aircon, as we have seen previously, but mostly they work. Although when they don't, they are kind of generally seen to pretty quickly. I'm quite lucky because I've got a bathroom, and that is through that door, which you cannot see. So let's go and have a look. It's a relatively small bathroom, but it's got the essentials: little basin, toilet, and of course a shower. In the Comoros here, mostly, well, at this house, should I say, we use instant electric water heaters. Although in the common bathroom we did have, the conventional geyser. So when the power is out, these kind of items don't really heat any water. Although when the power is out, the water pump doesn't work. So not really a problem. One of the last features of the house is probably this area. Now, this is not a big swimming pool. This was the water reservoir that, this is where our water used to come from. Now, a couple of weeks ago, it developed quite a big crack, and we lost a lot of water, like thousands and thousands of liters. So they are busy repairing it now. The guys down there are busy replastering the walls. And that's kind of what we have to put up with here in the Comoros. Although we were lucky enough to get that big thing. That is our temporary permanent water tank. Well, we've kind of got, this little one. That's about 3,000 liters, and that is 20,000 liters of water. So they had to bring this in specially to supply the house with water. I'm not too sure who brought it in or if it was hired or purchased or anything, but you know, since the main reservoir is out of action, we have to use that. That's where our little pump is, standing in the rain. Jerry-rigged electricity water thing, you know. I don't know what to say. So guys, and girls of course, thank you very much for joining the crew house tour with me. That's basically it. I hope that answers all of your questions as to where we live and what it is like. And as I said, living in the Comoros it's great fun. I mean, the island flying or island hopping, whatever you want to call it, is really nice. Beautiful sights, but well, and also, you know, just down the road you can literally walk maybe 100 meters and go and snorkel, and you just jump into the ocean. That'll be for a future video, so come back for that. So with all of those great things, there also are some downsides. As I mentioned before, the electricity is quite a sore point you know, here generally on the island. All the electricity is generated, and it tends to go on and off at various times throughout the day. Not at any set times, and also not for any set duration. So sometimes it can go off for 5 minutes, or every 5 minutes for like 2 hours, or it can go off, you know, the other day we had it going off for like, I think, 4 or 5 hours at a time. We do have a generator, which is nice, but it also is sometimes difficult and a little bit tedious to use because the power is on and off and on and off. So, you know, yeah, that's just what happens. And when the power is off, then there's also no water because it's all pumped. Of course, no hot water because of all the instant hot water geysers. And well, most obviously at night, then there's no lights. But we make do, and you've got to take the good with the bad. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching and joining me. Stay tuned for the rest of the videos that, well, I don't know when they're going to come out. I'm going to make maybe 1 or 2 more of the Comoros, so come back for that. Otherwise, I'm going to go live my life now. Cheers.